Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars Corner. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at a conversation between Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious as they are planning how they are going to bring about the fall of the Jedi Order. Before we jump into that, make sure you subscribe for more Star Wars content, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. So today's video, we're going to continue looking at Darth Plageuis. This is a novel that's now considered Legends, so that just means it's not a part of the official Star Wars canon. This is a book that I think deserves to be a part of Star Wars canon, though. That's just my opinion. So working through it, we get this interaction between Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious, and just to fill you in, Darth Sidious is Emperor Palpatine. If you didn't know that, well, that's okay. That just probably means you're new to Star Wars. But Darth Plagueis was his master, and they fit within the Sith Order, and that the Sith Order has been operating two at a time for the last 1,000 or so years, and the whole Sith Order has been working towards essentially the revenge of the Sith Grand Plan. And Plagueis and Sidious, they're talking about it, and throughout this whole book, they are making steps towards the Grand Plan. They believe that the Grand Plan of the Sith is going to come into fruition in their time, and they're going to be the two Sith Lords that bring the fall of the Jedi, which, if we fast forward and look at the movies, we know that Palpatine is the one who does it, and of course we know that Plagueis helps to lay a lot of the groundwork for that. So jumping into today's video, there's a conversation that they have while they're talking through their plan, and while they're talking through the logistics of how could we bring down the Jedi Order. We get a little foreshadow that hints at, well, how the plan plays out, and that is the clone troopers and execute Order 66, all of that stuff. We get a little bit of some foreshadow in this conversation, and the conversation's been going. They've been talking about how they were going to bring down the Jedi, and it gets to this point. An attack of that sort would fail, regardless, Sidious said, as if thinking out loud. The Jedi are widely scattered, and it's unlikely that we would be able to act quickly enough to kill all of them in the same instant. We would need to assign an individual assassin to each, and there would be no way to still the tongues of that many assassins. Our plan would be revealed, and we would be betrayed and become the targeted ones. So in this moment, Sidious and Plagueis, they're kind of putting together what needs to happen and how difficult their mission's going to be. The difficulty of taking out all of the Jedi at once, but also the necessity of doing it all at once is something they're wrestling with. And Palpatine throws out this idea that, well, I mean, if we had a bunch of assassins that were all coordinated and could take them out at one point, that could work, but there'd be no way to silence them. Fast forward, we know that Plagueis and Palpatine and eventually Palpatine and Dooku play a instrumental role in the creation of the Grand Army of the Republic, the clone troopers. And jumping forward, it's these clone troopers, designed by Palpatine himself, by Dooku, that would be the instruments of the Sith Grand Plan, of Order 66, that would lead to the fall of the Jedi Order. The Jedi would fight alongside the clones. They would be the loyal army of the Republic throughout the Clone War against the Separatists, which was fabricated by the Sith. And eventually, when the time was right, Palpatine would order 66, and the inhibitor chips that were placed inside the clones would prompt and would call for complete obedience in the clone troopers, and they would instantaneously, all in one moment, execute their Jedi generals, therefore leaving the Jedi Order in shambles. In one moment, taking out most of the Jedi, bringing victory to the Sith. And in this moment in the novel Darth Plageuis is when we see kind of the beginnings of this plan take place. Now remember, this is Legends, so technically in Star Wars canon this isn't official, but I mean, a conversation like this had to have happened to kind of get the ball rolling on the Sith Grand Plan and the way that the clone troopers would work in. So that's it for today's video. I just was reading through this novel and thought that was an interesting point, and especially with the Clone Wars Season 7 gearing up towards Order 66 and kind of the fruition of the Sith plan again. I just thought it was a relevant piece of information to kind of take a look at and talk about. I thought it was interesting. So if you haven't left a like, make sure you do that. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more Star Wars content. And as always, I hope that you learned something new about Star Wars today. Thanks for watching.